Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'm going to explain you about list in Python. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm using my Python IDE. So first of all, what is list? So guys, if you haven't watched my previous video, this what are the different data types in Python. So just go to that video and watch the video. I will share the link in the description box. Okay, so what is list? So list is a group of element. We can like bunch a group of multiple elements in a single variable. We can store a multiple values in a single variable. Like in other programming language like C, C++, Java, we use the concept of array. Like so, okay, so array is like store the multiple values, but the difference between list and the array is so in Python, list contains a multiple different data types of data also. Like for example, we can store a number, integer, float, or any other types of data in single. But in array, we only store a unique data, like unique data type of data. Okay, so let's create a one simple list. Let's say num is equal to, so to create a list we are using a square bracket and passing a value. Let's say I'm creating one list using and passing one 1 2 3 and 4. These are the numbers and press enter. Okay, so list is just created. Let's print a list. Just write a num and press enter. Okay, so it shows a 1 2 3 4. So guys, if you want to extract a specific value from a list, so how we can do it? So basically list is work on an index value. For example, list will start from 0, like first element will be position at 0, second element will be position at 1, third element position at 2, and so on. Okay, so let's say I want to extract a first element of a list, so I am just simply write num and inside the bracket I will pass 0. Okay, so it will give me a first element. Let's say I want to extract the last element of a list, then I will going to just pass the position value for the last element, that is fourth element, it will be a third value. And one more method to get a last element of a list is using a negative indexing. 4 will be considered as a -1, 3 will be considered as a -2, 2 will be considered as a -3, and so on. So let's say I want to fetch a last element using a negative indexing value. So I will just pass them and -1. So we get a last value. So guys, if you want to extract multiple values from a list, then you have to just pass a starting indexing value, index value, and the last element index value. So just I am going to pass num of, so let's say I want to extract this 2 2 2 3 and 4, these three values. Okay, so I'm just passing a index value, that is the position index value for the second element will be 1 2 colon. So colon signifies, so in the left side, that is this element we consider as a in starting index value, and after colon, that is the next value will be considered as a last index value. Okay, so if I am not going to pass any index value, so it will be considered as a till the end value. Okay, so it will return me all the values. Let's say I want to just extract these two elements, then I will pass num 1 2, that is the last element will be 3. Okay, so I want to pass the last element -1, that is n -1. So the index value for the 3 will be like 2, so I want to pass as a 3 index value. It will give me 2 to 3. Okay, so basically it works like first element will be considered as starting index value, and last value will be considered as a n-1, that is last value -1 index value in the list. Okay, so let's create one more list called as name, and I'm going to passing value that is Nayan, Aditya, Rohit, and Rushabh. Okay, so this is the string, like, okay, so this contains like multiple elements. So this string, this list contains a list of strings. Okay, there are multiple strings present. So okay, just print a list which we just created. Okay, so it contains a list of string values. Okay, so let's say I want to create a one more list, name it as a let's say mix element. Inside the list it contains a float value, let's say an integer value, let's say a string value also, a boolean value, it can be also be possible. Let's say a true. Okay, just click enter and print the element. So it show me all the elements, like, okay. So it show me the list of all the elements. Okay, so we just created. So we, as I said, like list contains a list of different data types of elements. So is it possible in Python, like creating a list of list? Yeah, it is possible in Python. So let's create a one list of list. Let's say a list one is equal to a list containing this is the num list num, and second list contains will be the name. Okay, and just press enter. Let's print it. So it contains like this is the first list and this is the second list, because we can create a list of list elements. So let's say I want to fetch a first list, then as usual I want to use the index value, that is like let's say list one of one. This is the first element, sorry, that is the zeroth element. It will give me a first element of that particular list. Okay, so one more thing, the list is known as mutable element, mutable data type. Why? Because in list we can add elements, we can delete elements, we can like make changes or make a modification on that particular list. Hence it is known as a mutable data type. But in case of tuple, it is immutable data type, because we can't add or remove, we can't modify once the tuple is created. So let's understand another methods. Okay, so how you can like add elements in list? So there is a method known as the append method. Let's say I want to append uh, one more elements in this num. So currently my num list contains 1 2 3 4, that is 4 elements which are the num type. And let's say I want to add one more element by using a append method. Append and just pass the value. Let's say I want to pass the string value. Press enter. Dot append, just print a num value. It is appending a element at the end of the list. One more method to add elements in list is using an insert method. So basically, you guys are like thinking why there is a two methods to adding elements in list. Okay, so basically append method used for appending the element at the end of the list, but by using the insert method we can append elements on the specific index value of, let's say I want to add an element at the second position, like after 1 2, and I want to add one more element, that is 5. Okay, so I will going to pass a index value, that is 2, and the value will be 5. Let's print the value. Okay, so basically you can see that the 5 value is inserted at the specific position, that is 2. So now let's say like you want to remove a specific value, then you can use a remove method. It is, let's say, num dot remove and the element which you want to remove from the list. Let's say I want to remove a 4 from a list, then I will pass just a 4, press enter, just print the num. So 4 value will be, okay, remove. One more method, like you want to delete a element from we want to like delete a element by using a specific index value. So you can use the num dot pop method and pass the index value. Let's say I want to delete a last value, then I will going to pass just a -1, or you can pass a specific index value, then press enter, and then pop, you will be going to pop the print 9 m num. So the last element, that is 9, will be deleted. If you guys don't know different types of methods, then just like you want to check the different methods we can perform on a list, then you can just use this control space bar, so it will like show all the methods. You can use any methods. Okay, so let's say now we want to delete all the elements, then just use the clear function and press enter. This clear function will be remove all the elements from the list. Okay, so one more method, like you want to delete multiple elements from a list. Let's say I have a list that is name. It contains 4 elements. I want to remove that is last 3 elements. Okay, then you can just use the del method, that is del the name of the list, and then just pass the index value, that is from second element to last element. Okay, so index value for the second element will be a 1 2 till the end. Press enter and just print the list. So it will show the list with by removing all the elements. In some inbuilt functions like Python provides, like you can sort a list, you can add all the elements of this, you can find a minimum value, you can find a maximum value, you can find a average, and like different types of methods we can perform on a list. These all are functions are inbuilt in Python. Like in other programming language we have to do manual. For example, let's say I have one list, that is 1 2 3 4, and I want to find the sum of all the list of elements. Then I have to like in other programming language I have to do loop all the elements of the list and then store it in one variable and do pass all the values and do all the steps. But in Python it is like inbuilt function. Let's say sum of num. It will give you all the addition of like 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, it is 10. Let's say I want to find a minimum value, and I will like press mean of num. It will give me like list value of that from that string. Okay. So you can perform a maximum operation, that is like you find a maximum value from a list and pass just num, press enter. So that's it for the video, guys. If you have any doubts, then just do comments down. If you are guys new to this channel, then just subscribe to my channel for the Python series. If you guys like a video, then do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.